Mirror's Edge is a radical departure from the games that Swedish-based DICE usually makes. Known for their Battlefield series, DICE has left the familiarity of online shooters for a game that feels much more like a first-person Prince of Persia. The concept of Mirror's Edge is awesome. You run along rooftops negotiating acrobatic puzzles to get away from a nasty, totalitarian government. Faith can do various leaps, grabs, slides, and rolls with just 3 buttons. While the controls are intuitive, allowing players to get into a good flow over time, I would have liked to see Faith with more moves at her disposal. Mirror's Edge is based on the acrobatic hijinks of parkour runners, but doesn't have quite the same pizzazz when you're doing the same movements over and over again. Other than that, DICE nailed the sense of motion with clever use of the camera and even included Faith's body in the frame at certain points. Mirror's Edge is at its best when you hit a solid rhythm and nail moves in quick succession. For such a new mechanic, Mirrors pulls it off with great success. The visual style is also cool. Some may be turned off by the simple primary colors, but it does sell the whole oppressive totalitarian government angle. However, character models could be better and there are some aliasing issues in the environment. You'll also see a lot of similar looking levels, so be prepared to jump off the same looking plank again and again.
Get running, girl.
Indoor environments are also kind of drab in a I've been in this room 50 times but last time the boxes were green kind of way. The game's repetition and linear nature is its biggest drawback. The ideas behind the game are solid, but it feels too constricting. There's also one point that you head towards and maybe 2 or 3 different ways to reach that point if you're lucky. The mechanics deserve a much more open world with more choices of how to get to places. It's odd that a game that emphasizes freeform running always asks you to do the same types of things. Combat is also clunky. Hits often don't register and you'll have to use reaction time to disarm bad guys because the timing is so unforgiving. It just doesn't look or feel that good. Also, enemy AI is bad. Guys will just stand around and shoot at you without moving, just waiting for you to put a shotgun round into their chest. Sadly, the story isn't very good either. There's a pretty interesting setup with the couriers being the only outlet for communication, but the actual narrative is cliched. The characters aren't engaging, and the animated cutscenes look like rejected Esurance commercials, which will be a turnoff for some.
We call ourselves runners. We exist on the edge, between the gloss and the reality. The mirror's edge.
To top it all off, Mirror's Edge is also short. It will take you less than 6 hours during your first playthrough. There's a cool time trial mode where you try to beat levels and cut seconds to put your time on the leaderboards, but this feels like it should have been part of a much larger multiplayer mode. You don't race against other people, just their times. Mirror's Edge is full of great ideas, but they don't quite come together in the end. I like what they were going for and hope that there is a sequel that expands and refines their core mechanics. And if you do have any interest in this game, definitely try it out. This really is one of those titles that will click with some and not for others. For me, it's just not quite there yet. For the full written review, head on over to IGN.com.